everybody. I'm so glad you're here. I'm Miss Mariah, and we're here today to talk about creativity. Creativity is imagining what you could do because you're made in God's image. God is more creative than we could ever imagine, and He made us to be creative too. One of my favorite ways to see God's creativity is in all the amazing animals He made. That's what our game is about today. We'll play an animal sound, then I'd like all of you to guess what animal it is. We'll put some options on the screen so you can guess which one you think is correct. Here we go. Okay, what animal makes that sound? Is it a dog, a bear, a fish, or a sheep? Yes, you're so smart. It's a sheep. Give yourself a pat on the back if you got that one right. Let's try another one. What animal makes that sound? Is it a cat, a shark, an owl, or a cricket? It's an owl. Good job if you got that one right. Okay, here's the next one. Okay, what animal makes that sound? Is it a leopard, a frog, a bald eagle, or a spider? It's a frog. Clap 3 times if you got that one right. Okay, here's the next one. Okay, what animal makes that sound? Is it a whale, a snake, an elephant, or a walrus? It's a whale. Everybody say, oh yeah, if you got that one right. Okay, here's the last one. What animal makes that sound? Is it an otter, an alligator, a mountain lion, or a hippo? Believe it or not, that's an alligator. Snap your fingers if you got that one right. Way to go. Some of those were really hard, but you did great. Isn't it amazing that God made so many different animals and they each have their own unique sound? He's so creative. Now, let's get on our feet and sing and worship Him together.
Spinning. You made the ocean and everything in it, and you made the sky so blue, and you made every other color too. You made the sun, you keep it shining. You put the moon up in the midnight sky, and everything around me created by you only. I just wanna thank you, 'cause everything you made is so beautiful. Every single star and every beat of my heart, and it's beautiful. You made my feet, you made my hands, you made me sing and you make me dance, 'cause your love is all around me, and your love is so astounding. I just wanna thank you 'cause everything you made is so beautiful. Every single star and every beat of my heart, and it's beautiful. Here we go, break it down now. Everything you created with your imagination is wonderful and good. Wonderful and good. You're my inspiration beyond all explanation. You're wonderful and good. You're wonderful and good. Everything you created with your imagination is wonderful and good. Wonderful and good. You're my inspiration beyond all explanation. You're wonderful and good. You're wonderful and good. I just wanna thank you 'cause everything you made is so beautiful. Every single star and every beat of my heart, and it's beautiful. I just wanna thank you 'cause everything you made is so beautiful. Every single star and every beat of my heart, and it's beautiful.
What do you see when you look in the mirror? Your best silly face? The school picture day smile? That look you get when mom tells you to get out of bed for school? Whatever you may see in the mirror, something amazing is true. You are a mirror. God made you in His very own image to reflect who He is to the world around you. That's right. When people look at you, they can see a little piece of what God is like. Not the way your mouth is shaped or the color of your eyes, but when you choose to encourage someone, hey, great job today. Others can see God's kindness. When you paint a picture, they catch a glimpse of the God who imagined the whole world. When you help your friend solve an argument, they can see a reflection of the God who made peace with us. The God who thought up the entire universe made you to look like Him. And when you use your imagination, you can show the whole world a little piece of what He's like. That's why creativity is an amazing way to worship God with your life. Because worship is about more than just singing loud. It's all about living loud.
The Bible. It's 66 books of history, stories, letters, and poetry that fit together to form God's one big story. The epic adventure of how He created us and loves us so much that He made a way to rescue us. As we travel through the Bible, from Genesis to Revelation, we discover people who met God and found their lives changed forever. Now, for an amazing story, inspired by the book of Genesis, chapters 1 and 2.
In the beginning, the very beginning, before the first breath, before the first flash of color, before the first moment in time, there was nothing. Nothing. Nothing except God. But when God saw nothing, He saw a blank canvas. He saw the perfect backdrop for a work of art beyond imagination. So, God created. From absolutely nothing, He brought forth the heavens and the earth. But there was no shape or form. God's Spirit hovered over the dark emptiness. Then, God called out,
"Let there be light."
Brilliant light shattered the darkness like golden trumpets on a still morning. Bright rays shimmered and danced in all the hues of the rainbow. God saw the light was good. He divided the light from the dark, calling the light day and the darkness night. Evening and morning together shaped the very first day of all time. Then God said,
"Let there be a huge space between the waters. Let it separate water from water."
By His words alone, God shifted the waters, leaving a vast arching space above, the sky. Evening and morning rolled past, the second day. God lifted His voice again.
Let the water under the sky be gathered into one place. Let ground appear.
Dry land shrugged its way out of the water. Islands and vast continents and gritty deserts and towering mountains. God called the dry ground land, and he called all the gathered waters seas. But God had even bigger plans for this day.
Let the land produce plants, and let there be trees on the land.
In moments, tall grasses unfurled across the plains, and giant redwoods shot up from the dirt. Flowers and grapevines and carrots and corn sprouted and flourished. God saw that all of it was good. That evening and morning closed out the third day.
Let there be lights in the huge space of the sky. Let them separate the day from the night.
At the sound of God's voice, the blazing sun exploded into being. The silvery moon spun out. Stars and galaxies flooded into space, filling the universe. Pew, pew, pew. God set the sun to rule the day, and the moon to rule the night. And God saw it was good. That evening and morning made up the fourth day. But God wasn't done painting his masterpiece just yet.
Let the seas be filled with living things. Let birds fly above the earth and across the huge space of the sky.
Instantly, the seas and rivers and ponds writhed with dolphins and octopi, salmon and minnows. Eagles soared and bluebirds nested, while ostriches stretched their long necks. God saw they were good. That evening and morning formed the fifth day. But God kept working on his creation.
Let there be livestock and creatures that move along the ground and wild animals.
At once, animals of every kind appeared. Elephants thundered through the forests, and squirrels darted up tree trunks. Monkeys chattered, and pigs rolled happily in the mud. God saw it was all good. But he had one more creation in mind.
Let us make human beings so that they are like us. Let them rule over the fish and the birds. Let them rule over all the animals.
Then, with his own hands, God formed the very first man and the very first woman, Adam and Eve.
I'm me. And you are you.
And this place, it's beyond words.
Unlike the animals, God made people in his image to reflect him.
Have children and fill the earth. Rule over the fish and the birds and every living creature. I am giving you every plant on the earth for food.
God looked over everything he had created and saw that it was very good. That evening and morning were the sixth day. And on the seventh day, God rested. His work was finished. His glorious creation was complete. But because God had formed people in his image, they too could reflect his imagination and creativity. The possibilities ahead of them were endless.
Wow. It's incredible to think that God made everything out of nothing. His creativity is indescribable. Remember, there's no limit to God's creativity. God created so many amazing things that we see and enjoy every day, but I'm most thankful for the very last thing he created, people. God created us in his image. There's no limit to God's creativity. And since he created us to be like him, we can be creative too. One of the reasons God created us is that he wants us to know him. He loves us. He wants us to experience for ourselves how good he is. He wants us to know that we can trust him no matter what. When God created the world, everything was perfect. But we know that life isn't perfect. Unfortunately, People mess up. It started with Adam and Eve when they disobeyed God, and it has continued all the way until now. Each one of us has done wrong things. But there's good news. God sent his son, Jesus. Jesus died on the cross to pay the price for everything we've done wrong. So if we believe, then we know God will forgive us. We know we have the promise of eternal life with him. God is indescribable, but we can get to know him because we can see what he has made. There's no limit to God's creativity. So take time to look around at all the things God has created. And when you look in the mirror, remember, he created you too. You were made in God's image. God created each one of us to think, feel, and act like him. Our memory verse for this month is Psalm 145, verse 3. It's a great reminder of just how indescribable God really is. Let's take a look. Lord, you are great. You are really worthy of praise. No one can completely understand how great you are. Okay, friends, that's all we have for you today. We hope you'll join us next week as we continue to learn about our indescribable God and his incredible creation. Bye.